Good morning, Steve Mitchell, and everybody else on the stream, and everybody on Discord. Anthony, Hakan, Kevin, and Uncle John. Welcome, guys. Sorry, I am late, but I had a lazy morning. I just got up on my time, my own time. I wasn't pressured. Sorry, Uncle John, for working on your nerves like that. Apologies. Um, He was trying to chase me, to get me to come on time and all these things. Valiant effort, Uncle John. Valiant, but I was just lazy. So here we are. We're going to fly from Copenhagen to Gdansk. If memory serves me correctly, yes, Gdansk. EPGD. It will be a Ryanair flight, and we will do it on FS Cloud, guys. Are you joining?
Yeah, FS Cloud.
Okay. Right. I'm going to try the beta version, beta 14 again. I do not have scenery for Gdansk loaded, even though given you guys the scenery link in the show notes below the video. I'm not going to take a chance live on air again. If it bombs at the old place, somewhere there close to approach or finals, let's try and avoid that. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm not using the scenery. I've got scenery, the Copenhagen scenery from Flight Tampa. That is loading and it looks super stunning. Um, I tried to add my, what do you call it, autos this morning. So I think that should be in play. That should be visible. But the other day when I was flying on Beta 14, for some reason it was like only showing place, patchy. It wasn't a full coverage. So we're also going to have an eye on that and see if there is anything to that. Let's quickly open our doors, get the services going, and then we can start with the flight planning and all those things. Guys, if you have questions or just want to talk nonsense as well, just feel free. Um, Send me a note here in YouTube, or guys here on Discord. I know you're concentrating to set up everything, but if you have questions, you're welcome to ask. In fact, I want to quickly change that. I have shown some other guys, and I know some of you will recognize it. I just want to use the actual other doors. What do you call it? Steps. So let's quickly go back there. Let's just hide them quickly. Then we go there. Right, that's better. Alright, there you go. Hello. Okay. Wife just said goodbye. She wanted to quickly go to the shops. Right. Guys, I've started my VA client, so we have 2 minutes, 20 minutes. Choma, good morning, and Captain Rick, good morning. Welcome, guys. Let's quickly start our FS Cloud, see if we can see the guys. Oh my goodness, we have winds 270 at 18 knots, gentlemen.
So it'll be a runway 30 by the look of it.
I don't know. I'll run through the whole flight plan just now, Uncle John. Captain Rick, I'm doing okay, thank you. Just a bit lazy this morning. I had a good night's sleep and just took it a bit peaceful resting this morning, and then obviously I have to come and do my bit on stream now. So I'm still very lazy. I hope you guys are all well. What have you been up to? You're welcome to drop me a note there. Okay, I'm waiting for live. Are any of you guys already on FS Cloud connected?
I'm connected to Nico and I'm on Foxtrot 1.
Ah, there you go, there you go. Okay, so Ryanair in the real world uses Foxtrot 1 to Foxtrot 5. Alright, so these are the correct bays. Foxtrot 1 to 5, it seems, yes.
I can see you now, Nico.
Yeah, yeah, I've got you. Excellent choice, Kevin. Excellent. Great minds, eh? Hello, sexy. What is your PC specs? That put a smile on my face. You can get that by typing exclamation PC and it will bring up the specs. If the bot works. Oh, there you go. There's the bot. Just a bit slow, but there you go. That's the specs. Right, so let's start with the logical steps. So this is our control panel for virtual Ryanair. Those of you that don't know it, we're going to fly from Copenhagen to Gdansk, and that will be our actual route, which I'm just going to copy into memory. 139 passengers, 1.7 tons of additional cargo above and beyond the normal baggage. Good morning, Bjorn. Good morning, Christer. Well, as long as you have the iPad, I'm sure the work will then be much easier. You know, thank you for joining us, Christer, and thinking of us. I hope you enjoy painting your windows, man. Right, so let's go to Navigraph. Sign in. Oh my goodness. There we go. What is that IKO of that other place? EG or EP? Let me just grab the detail. Group flight.
GD.
Thank you, guys. Then we're going to insert our Ryanair route over there. Right. That's cool, Crystal. That's cool. You sound like Zibo. The other night he was talking with me. He had his one eye on my stream and the other eye on the code. Excellent multitasking. Excellent.
Hello, Krister.
Yeah. Games live. Sorry, man. Yeah, you'll have to upgrade. I tell you what, the gaming situation is getting out of hand in terms of what they require for PC specs nowadays, especially in the simulators. It's getting crazy. But anyway, good luck with that. Okay, next step. Let us get the lay of the land. We want to see what's spotting at this airport. What runways do we have? So we know we have a 22 left and a 30. So if memory serves me correctly, let's go to our active sky quickly. Just see there. The wind is 270 at 18. So I would hazard a guess, but let's go look at our wind calculator. So EKCH. Let's pick the best one. So we've got a 2 left, which gives us 11 and 13 on the crosswind. 11, okay, and then we've got a 30. A 30 would be better because we've got more headwind and less crosswind. Uncle John, you are so correct. We're going to take 30 for takeoff, sir.
Good. Oh,
Okay, go for runway 30. Let's see our departures. Sierra India Mike Echo 8 Delta.
yeah, that's where I put Nico.
That looks good, Kevin. Looks like a winner. Right, so let's look at our arrivals. I suppose we need to look at the lay of the land first. Let's go to our charts. See, airports. Sorry. So we have a runway 11 and a runway 29, and if we go EPGD, that will not work. Okay, 29 it is, because it's 270 at 13, so we'll take 29.
Yeah, I put 29 with the OGDAV 3 Tango arrival.
Excellent. 3 Tango. Why 3 Tango and not Romeo? Good question.
That is a good question, and I haven't got an answer to that.
Okay, I'll tell you quickly. The Romeo is for runway 11 and the Tango is for runway 29.
Oh, you see, I knew that. I was just testing you.
You win. I hands up. Good morning, Sentinel. Righto. Okay, so ILS RNAV. What are we going to fly? Let's just look at that. Midar again. We should be able to do an RNAV. Why don't we just do a little bit of an RNAV again today? So let's go back. We'll bookmark our chart for the SID and we'll get our star as well. This one, so let's see what this is all about. Do we have, yeah, we've got EGNOS here today. We can fly an EGNOS approach for a change. Man, I hate this screen. It's just not big enough to show everything. But we should be in the middle somewhere there. Okay, 3000. Okay, I know all the visibilities are okay. Right, okay, I'm doing the EGNOS arrival. That's my plan. So let's quickly go and copy this route. And export. Hello, Ryan. Output. Sentinel, it's actually in the real world, it's not measured at foot per minute. That is a flight simming thing. They measure it in G-forces. And as long as you do not break or bend your struts, your wheel struts, you should be okay. I reckon 500 foot per minute, if we want to use that scale, is going to be a very hard landing. 600 is a big no-no. You don't want to go there. That's when you start bending stuff. So it's going to cost millions to fix. So in reality, when the flight simmers are trying to get 100 or less, or 150 or 200 foot per minute, it's all for show. It's got no real world value. It means nothing. It doesn't count in real world. Anything below 500 you know, is going to be a good landing. The harder it is, obviously, the harder it is, you know, and then you're going to have to get chiropractic help afterwards. So you've got to, you know, just keep it to a 1.5 G or less landing. That should be fine if you use a G-force rating or something like that. Sergeant Potato, what's up? Yeah, long time. Welcome. And hello, Paul. And hello, Howard. Welcome. Welcome. Right, sorry. Now I'm sitting here talking again, not concentrating. Let us go and create the rest of our flight planning. Joma, that's nothing to sneeze about, my friend. That's better specs than I have. But I also, depending on which simulator I fly, I also get my 30 to 40 at least, or sometimes up to 50 FPS, depending on the area and the scenery and all these kinds of things. Sentinel 230, 240 is perfectly fine. 300 is fine. I tend to feel the jolt when I go over 300. I think that's when you're going to start to get what the guys jokingly say a Ryanair landing is over 300 if we use that scale. It starts to get a bit hard, but 230, perfect, no problem. The VAs like to score you differently, but that's just a VA thing. Good morning, Chris. Almost 2 a.m. So you obviously somewhere Australia side. Welcome. Or maybe America. Now I'm thinking out loud. Wherever you are, my friend, welcome, and thanks for watching. Right, okay, next. ATC, call sign. 810. Right, advanced preferences. We set runway 30 and a runway 29. Right, avoided alternate cruise. 6. Altitude, what does the VA recommend? The VA recommends 33. Right, there's one way to test this. Let me show you guys a trick here quickly. I'm gonna go to active sky and I'm just going to load the flight plan in here quickly. Let me get that on screen for you guys. Where's this screen capture? So in active sky, what we're going to do is we're going to load the flight. Alright, and then we're just going to guess. The VA says 330, so let's have a look and then go look at the briefing. Go to the briefing, it will tell us more favorable winds at flight level 290. Alright. Game Slipe, give me a second, I'll get there just now. Okay, so we're going to use flight level 290 because our weather engine is active sky and it tells us that 290 is going to be a better bet. Right, so let's get back there. Is the KP, so we're going to go altitude 290. Pax, we're going to go for 139 and 1.7. 1.7. 139. And let's generate the plan. So while that is busy generating the plan, let me show you my graphics settings. I am using Vulkan this morning, and these are my settings. You're welcome, Sergeant, don't worry. Dream virtual flight, good morning. All you do is load version 19 on top and you will be all good to go on the latest version. Right, so I hope you got that. Let's go back to the planning. We are satisfied. There's nothing outstanding. We've got a good display there. Let us fly now. Alright, connect. Alright, payload will be 16.2. Fuel is going to be 6.1. And then we need to request the fuel, otherwise it means nothing. Thanks, Games Live. I want to tell you a secret. I think a lot of people in the flight sim community, especially that I deal with, have the impression, that we just splash all the money in one go. It took me 3 years to build this PC. I literally started with a motherboard. It was in the cupboard for 3 years, and every now and then when I've got a bit of spare cash, I would buy another piece of the puzzle. Until eventually 3 years later, I was able to actually upgrade my old Intel 3770K processor and system. And I think that's a good tip for you guys. Don't rush. Don't go into unnecessary debt. Start buying, with a plan. Get the motherboard, then get the CPU, then get the RAM, then start looking at the case, power supply, hard drives, things like that. Takes a while. I mean,
Mine,
in South Africa, with our very weak economy, I mean, my system cost me 60,000 rand, which is equivalent to, I don't know, I'm gonna take a wild guess, $3,000 maybe. I don't know. We can work it out technically if you really want to, but it's a lot of money, So it takes time, and don't be in a rush, guys. It's not worth it. Just take your time.
You're lucky, sir. Mine takes 16 years to make.
Ah, okay. Yeah, things happen, man. I just quickly worked it out. A rough estimate. It's about $3,500 for this system. So there you go. All right. What's next? What's next? Okay, we need to start setting up. I suppose. Where are we on the counter? Ooh, we're running out of time here.
Time to go for me. See you later, Nico, and the others.
Okay, I can enjoy.
Mm.
Dream Virtual Flight, you only need the latest fix. So you do not need to put in anything in between, just the latest fix. The principle is this: every fix is bound to its base. All right, you cannot use a wrong base with a wrong fix. So if you are on version 3.42, that is your full base, you can load any fix that is related to 3.42. You load the latest fix and you'll have the latest version. If you have 3.41, for instance, you cannot load 3.42 fixes on it. So you must just work it out that way. Right. RYR810. Activate. Execute. Departure. Runway 30. Guys, sorry I'm holding you up. If you are ready to go, you're ready to go, you're welcome. You can go, in other words. Oh, you know what? I forgot. That's what I forgot to set my position. Oh, this is a beautiful route, guys. I really like this. This is really nice. Wow. 0 fuel weight 59.3, takeoff weight 65.3 versus 4. That's correct. And for those of you that don't know why there's 100 kilograms more on the FMC, that's your taxi fuel. The takeoff weight is measured at the runway when you get on the runway ready for takeoff. So there's obviously 100 kilograms of taxi fuel included in the FMC right now because we're still at the gate. We will be using 6, I think I said, yep, standard. And to 90 as directed. To reload this page. Alright, so let's take the actual winds. Average winds will be 232 at 62.
I'm going to push.
Enjoy, Uncle John.
Thank you. Safe flight. Enjoy.
Yep, you do. Right. Gonna run on 32 for now. And we're gonna climb. Sentinel, how do you download the charts from Navigraph? Okay. First of all, I have a Navigraph subscription. The Navigraph subscription comes with desktop charts. Let me show you guys. So that is the application that you get from Navigraph when you subscribe to the desktop charts. Okay, that desktop charts is then linked to the Zibo. You can link it. There's a video on my YouTube channel here that you can watch how to do that. And then also what happens is in STKP, what happens is here at the bottom, you've got a couple of things that are integrated and Navigraph is one of them. So what then happens is I simply select Navigraph and then that desktop chart actually runs inside of STKP. It just makes my life a little bit easier. You know, instead of having multiple applications open and using all the resources, everything is now just in STKP. Chris, no, not at all. No. No, he's not involved with FS 2020. That's a Microsoft thing. I think PMDG has got the monopoly on the Boeings in that Microsoft franchise, you know, so I cannot speak on Zibo's behalf. He might pull a rabbit out of his hat, but I mean the Zibo, this mod is not portable to FS 2020 anyway, so. Right, let's do our weights. We need to move it to the back a little bit. Calculator
Pushing
time.
back now, Nico.
Okay, guys, enjoy given 537 plus 732. 1269. Almost perfect. Alright, let's start our flight leg while we are here. And let's do this while we are here as well. And there's Kevin moving. I can see you moving, Kevin.
Okay, Corky, I'll be turning the opposite way to, I think you'll probably turn anyway.
Games, just relax, bro. Relax. We are here to have fun, man. Bjorn, different API, wildly different flight model. Oh yeah, you can't compare the two. It's just impossible to compare it. That should assist us with the taxi when we get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, welcome aboard our flight today. We're wrapping up the final paperwork here to get you on your way momentarily. I want to thank you so much for your company, and we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Again, welcome aboard.
Aviation Chris, yeah, that 30 kilograms is a problem. SimBrief has changed the way they do the rounding, and if you do not put the 30 kilograms in, you're going to not have the relevant information in the OFP. It's going to be off. So for rounding purposes, we add the extra 30 kilograms. Sentinel, if you've got the chart description, what you have to do is this. Let me show you quickly. Go to plugins at the top, and then you go find the aviators tab, Avi tab. Toggle the tablet. Alright, so I'm just going to kill this quickly. We'll go back to it. You see there's a Navigraph icon. What you do is you click on it, and then there's another button where you basically just link your account to the flight simulator, and then it will show up in the Avi tab exactly as I had it just now. Aviation Chris, if you go to the payload, the very end, I added 30 to the galley R. That's your aft galley in the back, in the rear. Right, so I just added 30 kilograms there, and then it balances nicely with everything here again. Alright, 299, and we're gonna fly to 90. That is our test. Everything works fine. Let's quickly finish the overhead and then we go.
Okay, I'm taxiing Nico.
And maintain
Right.
10,000 feet runway heading. You are cleared for takeoff.
122.8. We really don't want to hear that other stories. Chris, as long as SimBrief do not honor the proper calculations, it is a thing. Okay, if they wake up at some point in time and they realize they made a mistake in their calculations, then we have to follow suit. But until that time, we are stuck. We have to do what we have to do.
Captain Hudson on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Right, starting my APU, guys. I will be pushing in a minute. Giuliano, good morning, good morning. I don't know what you retracted there, can't see it, but good morning. Let us request our pushback. We can close our doors and send the merrymen on their way. Drive away all, and then obviously I just have to kill my Zibo stairs. Disable. There we go. That should do it. Beacon on. Ah, fantastic, Juliana. Good news, buddy.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Gents lining up and I'm taking off. You should be alright, Kev, by the time you get down there to follow out.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
Right.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, I'm pushing. Hello,
Starting
Lloyd. Good
pushback,
morning.
and you may start engines.
That's okay. It's Saturday. Games Live, I'm at the southern tip of South Africa. For my stream to go out to the world, it needs to go to an ingress server somewhere on YouTube. So it's got a lot of way to travel to get to the ingress server. Then it gets spooled up in the Google system, and then it gets to YouTube, and then it gets to you guys. So unfortunately, not much I can do. I've got a 50 meg fiber line. I'm pushing as fast as I can to get the data to you guys.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting cow. Stand by. Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Okay, guys, line up and take off runway 30.
Enjoy the flight,
Roger,
Kevin.
enjoy.
Will do.
There's our pin on the left there. Thank you. Taxi lights on. Right, so I'm going to have to just check. Right. Welcome back, Captain Rick. Just in time. We are taxiing out now. Chris, yeah, we can do that in flight. I'll explain the difference to you guys, because you've got two sources. You've got SimBrief, which is basically more historical than actual. It can be off by however long your flight is plus 30 minutes, which means that your true source is actually your weather engine, and in my case it's active sky. So that's why we use the web companion over here, and I'll talk you through some of the stuff over here, because this is the actual weather compared to, for instance, wrong button, if you go down on your OFP, this like I say, this weather over here, that the winds there on those levels that we normally just use for training and just to fill in the blanks, that can be off by 1 hour or a half an hour plus whatever flight time you have, so that's not current, whereas active sky is current. This is current, so I'll talk you through it when we get there. Right, let's see, we need to turn left, I suppose. Cam's live, he left quickly. I'm not sure if he went to make coffee or something. I can't remember what he said, but there was a reason. So obviously he came, said hello, went, came back.
Approaching 2 left.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Sky Storm, wonderful. Welcome. So according to this chart, if we continue, we're going to end up on the runway. We don't want to end up on the runway. Let me just lift it a little bit, see if there's a better path, or if we actually need to go left here. I think we need to go left here.
Yeah, you go left there, Nico, and then right.
Yeah, that's how I came in last night as well. So I've got a bit of history now with it. Roel, good morning. Goeiemorgen. Welkom. What happened to the other guys? Everybody went to make coffee or what? Everybody in Discord just disappeared. Just you, Kevin and Uncle John remaining. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know where they went.
Can't believe how quiet it is in here.
Yeah. Ooh. Captain Rick, thank you. It's in my haste to get going. Let's quickly change that for you guys. Sorry, thank you.
Not about you, Kev, but I thought that departure was beautiful.
Yeah, nice departure, John.
Back in a sec, grabbing coffee.
Okay, should be fixed now. Sentinel, most pilots today have an EFB like we have here. They have what we have, and just as we are reading the charts, they read the charts. There's also a fancy trick which the guys can do. You can actually ask the ATC for progressive taxi instructions. They will then literally lead you by the nose. Now, a lot of the new aircraft, your 787s, 777s, these guys, they've got charts built into the aircraft already. You know, the displays are there, and it gets quite fancy. But we're not far off. We basically have what they have. I think we're one up, because unless you have ADS-B or some ground radar integration, you're not going to see yourself travel on the ground like we do in the simulator. You know, they've got to read these little posts. You see there's a little post. It tells you what taxiway you're on. So they need to read what the map is saying and then put 2 and 2 together. You know, we've got it kind of a little bit easier in the sim.
Oh no, I've got Escobar.
Congratulations. Right, I'm just going to go for a rolling start, so let's get on there.
Approaching 30.
Our engines.
On runway 30.
Let's go.
V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up. There you go. Gear down and off, and RTO off. We are done at this airport.
1000.
About an hour.
I'm at cruise.
Okay. I know what. 10-3. No man. Dash T. That's fine. Toga simulations, you just have to be mindful of the rest of your settings. There's no point in having all your settings too high. I think it should run it comfortably, but you might have to pull your sliders a little bit to the left. You know, don't overdo the sliders for world objects and things like that. Should run okay. Yeah, it's not the best, but it should run okay. That's not required, games live, really. That's an overkill. Right, Copenhagen, bye bye. Depends on what kind of hard drive you use. If you're using an SSD, yes. If you're using an NVMe, even better. If you're running a mechanical hard drive, you might get stutters. I don't know. Depends on if you actually defrag it, you know. That, my friend, is a $1 million question that only you can answer, really. Hallo, Mr. KZ. Goeiemôre, goeiemôre. Skystorm, thank you for that. It definitely helps. Yes, thank you. It does help to speak from experience. And there we go. That is our route. So it's going to take approximately an hour to get there. Something tells me I don't have the correct time set up in my system. There we go. Yep, Skystorm, ja, true. Games Life, it depends on where you live, my friend. Just Google it in your area. See what you can come up with, because it's going to be second-hand. You really can't buy that brand new anymore. You're going to have to find some site or some facility in your area to speak to people.
Nico, hello.
Hey, Chris.
On my side, good evening, good morning probably to you.
Good morning, Christian.
Good morning, thank you. It's been a while, guys. I'm a shift worker, so I don't get a lot of chances to catch you guys live on stream, but I watch every single one of them offline. But
Awesome.
when I get a chance to see you live, it's a privilege, so thank you.
Awesome, welcome.
Morning, Christian.
Well, thank you.
Captain Rick, alright, see you. Thanks for popping in. We'll talk later again.
Nico, can I ask you a quick question, please, if you have some time?
Yeah.
When you presented the active sky, you had some winds information. How did you get that? Because I was doing a recent flight earlier this afternoon on my time, and I couldn't get that particular active sky working for some reason. When I say working, it didn't display any winds along the way.
Chris, I'm not sure I follow you. I mean, you install Active Sky, you make sure that your X-plane reads the file and it works. So you lost me a little bit there. I mean, why would it not work?
It presented a black screen when I clicked on the window for Active Sky, which is linked to my Active Sky weather. It's something I'm probably doing wrong, but it worked in the past, but this time it presented nothing. So I'm not sure if I need to do anything or enter or update something. Can you recommend what I should check?
Well, yeah, start by checking that you have all the relevant latest updates of everything that you use. Okay, make sure you've got the latest fixes, because Active Sky is updated twice in a week's time now that I'm aware of. So make sure that it's new. Make sure that all the links is set up. You know, make sure that it talks to the right piece of software at the right time at the right place. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it clearly works. So somewhere you just have a disconnect.
Can I add?
Oh yes, yeah, sorry. And Lloyd also reminded me, it will not work in this window in STKP. Your web companion will not work if you don't have a flight plan loaded. You have to go into Active Sky. You have to load your flight plan so that it knows what it's talking about. And then yes, Uncle John, shoot.
I think that's the problem. I think you've nailed it. I didn't load the flight plan in the Active Sky.
Yeah. Uncle John?
The only other thing I was going to say, Nico, the fault I made, I've got beta and I've got vanilla, and make sure it's aimed at the correct one.
Oh yeah. That's what I meant with the right links, you know, pointing to the right places. If you're in a situation like me and Uncle John, we've got two versions of X-Plane, so you need to make sure that your game folder is set up correctly inside of Active Sky as well. Very, very important.
Copy, thank you. Yep, I only use the standard one, not the beta version, so thank you. It's just that I don't want any crashes, because I did experience some crashes with Vulcan, so that's why I'm hesitant to continue any flights, especially when flying for the VA.
I am on descent.
Guys on the stream, let me just quickly interject there. My attention was taken away for a brief moment, as you heard as well. Just keep it civil on the stream, guys. Everybody is entitled to his opinion, and a small mistake every now and then. That's what mercy and grace is for. So just keep it civil, guys. Everybody is allowed to speak. Everybody is allowed to give their opinion. Just don't go and rub each other up the wrong way on the stream, please, guys. We're all supposed to be friends here today.
Yeah, here. And I'm curious, Nico, if you can help. At which point would you enter your top of descent or climb? Sorry, top of descent winds. At which point? Like when I say which point, was it 90 nautical miles from the aerodrome, 100 nautical miles from aerodrome? What do you normally plan?
No, what I do is I kind of follow my checklist that's available in my OneDrive.
Yep,
so I start my full preparation for the descent about 100 nautical miles from top of descent. So in that whole sequence, one of the sequences are to go and do the top of, well, the descent winds actually.
So around 100 nautical miles, roughly, approximately. Yeah. You can start 140, because sometimes when ATC is online, they would give you clearance around 140 nautical miles prior to top descent, I've noticed.
Yeah. So look, I mean, that's You just have to adapt. You can do it anytime. You can even do it on the ground before takeoff. Okay, if the flight is short enough to make it, you know, viable to do that.
Yep.
You have to do it. You absolutely have to be finished doing it before the nose dips at top of descent. That's when it needs to be.
Gotcha.
In. So otherwise,
And that
yeah.
And that includes the ISO deviation as well.
And QNH, the ISO is not that important. It is important to a certain degree, but the most important one is the QNH, because the QNH, if you actually pay attention to your ND, you'll see the QNH will change the distance to your top of descent, you know, depending on the atmospheric conditions. The ISA obviously assists, but you really should have the QNH of the landing airfield in there to help with the calculations of your top of descent.
Understood, thank you.
Right, well, I'm at 46 nautical miles, so I better start looking at all these things we were talking about. So I'm going to quickly just get STKP up here. I've obviously loaded my flight plan into Active Sky. It is the engine that is pushing the information into my system here. So there's a couple of things that we want to do. I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to go to my FMC so we can see the two things at the same time. What I want you to pay attention at is now, first of all, we need to make a quick guesstimate. So we had 4.7 tons of fuel at the previous waypoint. We're going to have 4.3 I'm just going to look up quickly how far are we. We're about 29 nautical miles, right? So we're going to make a quick guesstimate here. We will have 4.3 at the next one, so let's make it. Let's say we are currently at about 4.4 tons. We need to be at 3.5 at the destination. So that is about 1 ton that we need to lose there. So when we go to our INET reference page, we're going to put in less 1 ton, so that's 62.7 as a guesstimate. And we're going to enter our flaps 30 V speed. Then we're going to go to the descent forecast. What we want to look at is in this web companion, it actually decodes the TAF for you, so it's more accurate than usual. Well, at least the SimBrief one. So it says it estimates we're going to have a QNH of 1017. If we go to the actual weather, you see that it's spot on. So we're going to also then look at what the ISA deviation is. That's 1, and then like we said, 1017. So we're going to enter that in there. Then we're going to go to active sky, and we're going to pick up, you see the way it displays it, waypoint name, then it's 6, 9 and 12k. I'm going to quickly just make a note here of what it is. I'm going to take this line over there for 6, 9 and 12, so we've got 272 at 28, we've got 271 at 29, and 254 at 38, so 6, 9 and 12. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to Navigraph quickly. It's actually imperative because we are so close. We need to quickly see our descent altitude. Initial descent altitude will be 3000. So I just want to quickly make sure that we are ready for that. And we have to hurry because, like I said, we have to get those winds in before we go down. So let's quickly rush through that. So we've got 12,000. 9,000 and 6,000. On the chart, I'm not going to bring it back up, but it says the transition altitude is flight level 065, so we're just going to put that in there as well. And then from that page where we read the information, active sky, we've got 272 at 28 for that one, 271 at 29 there, and 254 at 38, and we're going to execute that. Alright, so that's where it comes from. That's our final point, and that is the values used for 6, 9 and 12,000, all coming from live weather instead of using over here. So if we compare it, we've got different altitudes, so it's really not even comparable. But you can see there's also, that's the pattern. So that is at least half an hour plus whatever your flight length is older than the information that we currently have in active sky being current. So I hope that makes sense. Guys, I don't go into all these details because I don't want to confuse a lot of people, you know, but this is more correct than the other one, but there's nothing wrong in using the other way, Chris. So just bear that in mind as well.
Thank you, Nico.
Alright, there we've started our descent now as well.
I'm just concerned for a realistic pilot that was to receive their OFP in the air. How would they calculate their top descent? Would they base it off their OFP, or do they get some extra information along the route?
If there is a significant change, they'll get it via ACARS. They'll get an ACARS message if there's a significant change. Otherwise, I mean, I've been there with them many times. They go sit in front of the PC, they get their full OFP like we get from sim brief and they read it off there. If they've got a live link, which some of the aircraft do have, they can obviously update the weather in the air as well. You understand? Which is ideal. I'm just not sure, which aircraft would be fitted with it. I can't give you even a guesstimate on it. I know some have, some don't. Sentinel, you say you get a TOGA fail. The only reason it would fail is if something isn't set up correctly. Your guess is as good as mine what that would be. And the TCAS will not test until the IRSs are aligned. TCAS is dependent on IRS to be aligned. So once you've put in your location and your IRSs are aligned, your TCAS test will work. Okay, got it. TCAS, not TOGA, yeah. That's all about the IRSs. Once it's aligned, it will work. Steve, no, I don't use the 4K version. I prefer to use the 2K version. There's no difference that I can see anymore. It just doesn't work. Sentinel, while we are talking about that, if you want to do the test on these buttons, your Mach overspeed warning and the stall warnings, your bus needs to have been powered for 4 minutes. So there's a 4-minute delay before these ones will work. There's an IRS delay also on a proper test for your GPWS. If your IRS is not aligned, you will not get the proper display for the GPWS either. Now, it's all very well in the old days when we had all the sim shortcuts, those things used to work, but as Zibo is making the Zibo mod more realistic and these little shortcuts get taken away, then obviously you have to start flying it and using it according to the FCOM and stuff, and that's where it comes from. Hello Dougal, welcome. Thanks for stopping by and dropping in quickly. Urameshi, good day, welcome. Gents, Kevin, Uncle John, how far are you guys?
I'm down at 9,000 feet now. Not that far till I start doing me out leg for me in leg.
Okay.
I'm downwind at 5,000.
Right. Right, and today we're going to do an EGNOS approach. So what we have to look for is this code. We have to enter the EGNOS code into our MMR over here. So that code is 57701. Yeah, Sentinel, grab the newest one from my OneDrive. Please get the latest checklist.
Course correction, Kev, 287, not 8.
Roger.
Steve, he might have, I missed it. John, did you say you have wind? I think Steve is making a joke there, I don't know.
Pass.
Yeah, that was something we missed. Wind over our
Nico,
heads. Yeah.
I'm used to VATSIM. I hear this FS Cloud coming in force. I'm not sure. Is
What?
there a difference? I take it.
Yes, there is. FS Cloud, what you need to do is you need to click the little green button on Unicom, switch it off. You click it twice to get it to grey out, and then just set it to 122.8 because I think their standard frequency is 1180 or something like that. It's different frequency.
So it's a different network.
Yeah. Got it. You said you're going downwind. You see, that's where the joke comes from, Uncle John.
Got it.
Okay, all right.
He's full of wind.
Yeah. Well, we're all gonna get some wind just now. All right, Warner. The idea behind the throttle noise lock is to compensate for noisy pods in your hardware. When you have a noisy pod, it's worn out or whatever, what happens is the jitters that is generated by this thing moving the whole time gets sent through to the Zibo. So the throttle noise lock, if you look at my setting, I'll show you quickly my one. My one is set to 6. Just change this view, not that one, hardware. You see, my one is set to 6. The moment I drop that to a lower value, you will see the jittering, the jumping around on the throttles, and that's not good for the system because you're confusing the code. The code doesn't realize it's not you that want to change the power, so it will become a problem. Then the other one that you have to use in conjunction at the same time is this auto throttle engage lock throttle. That needs to be on. Those two together, but that one specifically makes the VNAV code run without interference from your hardware. I have seen it 1,000 times. People complain, oh, the VNAV code doesn't work, and they don't realize it's not the VNAV code, it's actually their hardware sending bogus signals to the code, and the code is reacting to what it gets, garbage in, garbage out kind of a thing. So by using the throttle noise lock to stop the jitter and to engage this lock throttle, you get rid of all these funny things, and the actual Zibo code can run without hindrance from the user's computer side.
So number 6 should be like a sweet spot, I take.
For me it is. It all depends on your hardware. It's not about the number 6, it's about your hardware. So whatever your hardware needs is what you need to give it.
Curious to see how you test that out, to see what sweet spot would be. That would be interesting.
Well, what you do is you move your throttle slightly forward. Make it like 15 or 20% of the throttle. Move it to that position, and then watch if it jitters. If it jitters, you lift the value. If it stops jittering, or it doesn't jitter, you can then drop the value. And
Hey, do you mean the throttle jitters?
Yeah. The throttle physically moves. I can't show you now. Oh, there. You see, it does
Oh,
this.
no, of course, yeah.
You see what I'm doing now? It's physically jumping around. Now, obviously, it needs to stop. All right, so there you go. That brings me to another thing I did not check, but I obviously got reminded very rudely now. Yeah, when this arm is on, you have control over the throttle. That is why the throttle, that auto throttle lock isn't working. I can physically move my throttle. You see there. It obviously picks up it's wrong and then it breaks me. But as long as arm is there, you can override the throttle by moving your hardware throttle. Once that goes into VNAV mode or whatever other mode there are, then you will not be able to move your throttles at all. It should disregard any movement on your throttles.
Turning on final now, Nico.
All right. Captain Rick, you're back. Welcome. And Warner, you're welcome.
Established 8 miles.
Okay.
Roger that, John.
You did with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Anti-ice?
We're at 11 degrees, not required.
Copy.
Ah, Sentinel. Okay, good you found that out, my friend. Now, the new one contains all the latest and greatest FCOM and real world procedures that I could get, you know, so go get it, because especially now with winter almost coming back and, you know, all the fancy things you have to do. It's becoming a thing now. Akkers. Akkers, no idea. That could be a temporary thing, but on your keyboard, just use the top row of numbers, number 3 and number 4. Let me show you. Number 3 and number 4 moves it forwards and backwards. So if it gets stuck, the speed brake, you know, just force it with the commands. Uncle John, I can see you visually. Now you're gone on the outside.
Put you both in my window.
Yeah, I've got you now as well. Let's take a screenshot. There is Uncle John. There is Kevin. Have you landed, Uncle John?
I'm 9 mile out.
Oh, I just missed your landing.
5,000.
Oh, you're going around.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, fully established.
Yes, mod. 30, anything above 30 is excellent, brother. That's good. Anything above 20 is really usable, but anything above 30 is bonus. That's really good.
I'm doing a go round, Nico, on account of, for some unknown reason, my auto throttle didn't disengage, even though my light was off.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's your hardware MCP. Captain Rick, that is also true. Look at that restriction, 5,000. Look at the altitude, 5,000. If that's not good, then I don't know what's good. Right, our maximum speed should be 210. That's why we've got the deceleration there. We will pull flaps 1 to assist the slowdown. Right, I'm pulling flaps 1 to just assist the speed there.
Runway vacated, Nico.
Thank you, sir. I'm on base, busy turning on to finals. Right, so we're using EGNOS, we're on the code there, and we need to just make sure that we descend properly. So we're going to go for 700. Alright, there you go. I read it wrong, sorry guys. 720. That was correct in the first place. Don't know why I made that mistake. But anyway, alright, that will be decision night. We do not have a 720 on the MCP, so that will be 700. We're getting there. Sentinel, thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. Yeah, Steve, they've upgraded a few times. I actually got mine from the kid up straight. Thank you. I just got a chocolate. Sorry, Akers, I missed your message there about OMDB. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Enjoy. This little arrow is so small I can't share it. I'm sorry. You know I love you, but this is one of those instances where I've got to look after myself.
Nico, I know this is probably a bad time, but with Sam, do you have Sam, or is it? I've actually removed Sam due to the conflicts.
I have Sam, but 2.07. 2.08 has got its own set of problems, so just use 2.07.
I know if you when you get a chance, and I don't mean to do it now, but when you get a chance, could you share that link? Because I've been trying to get different versions of Sam, and everyone's pointing me to the suite manager.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go find it. I also use the suite manager, but I just don't update it until I know it's safe.
Okay.
So I'm still on 2.07. I'm pretty sure if you just Google it, it should be on the forum somewhere on explain.org.
.07. Okay, I'll note that down.
Yeah, it's a bit shaky here.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
You see now, this is where that throttle noise lock really counts, because I've matched my throttles, the blue triangles, to the actual N1, and also, you know, if you had a noisy throttle, it wouldn't hold the speed, but just because my throttles are not interfering, look, it keeps my speed. See, so that's very important to have these settings correctly set up.
400. Approaching minimums. 300. Minimums. 200. 100.
Looking good, Nico.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Butter it.
And I'm right behind you, Nico.
Okay.
Well done, lovely.
Thank you. Uncle John, I am busy exiting. You are welcome to continue.
Thank you.
Alright, runway vacated. Thank you, Paul. See if we can see Uncle John there.
Just getting established now.
Right, we have you visual, sir.
This FS Cloud is different from VATSIM, I take it.
Yeah, totally separate network. Christian, the reason we came here is because we want to get people involved with multiplayer without the fear of ATC. Once we get them tame and qualified, yeah, we'll take them to ATC.
Okay, I understand. It's just something new to me that I've just learned. Okay.
If you want to join us, you're welcome. In my private hangar under the Explain 11 folder, there is an FS Cloud folder. It contains the little manual I wrote to set it up, because we found the manual that the guy supplied from FS Cloud is totally inadequate. You know, it only tells you certain things and not the whole story. So I had to go and reinvent the wheel there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, gents,
I'll have a look at.
Yeah, you're welcome. Gents, that goes for everybody else on the stream. If you want to join us on FS Cloud, feel free. There's no ATC. You don't have to be scared of anything. The thrill lies in seeing each other and being able to speak to each other, communicate, and share the experience and the love for what we're doing. So you're welcome to join us. We've got you, Uncle John. Thank you, Warner.
Don't forget the auto throttle there, John.
Make sure it's off. Concentrate and come. We're watching.
It's off.
Pressure.
Okay. Mert, it could be just a perspective. Remember that. It's probably just a perspective. I want to tell you a secret. Uncle John is one of those guys that always comes in too low. So I'm pretty sure this is just perspective.
Lovely landing, John.
Yeah, looking good. We're a bit behind on our stream, but yeah, there we go. Keep it steady. Thank you. That's not bad, Uncle John. You made it. No worries, Matt. No worries. Even Giuliano says that was a nice landing, Uncle John.
Thank you for those comments, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was lovely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nico, can you fly an FS Cloud and still be with the VA?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always thought you had to have FATSIM to be with VA, but it's not.
Nope. No. You don't even have to be online to fly for the VA unless your VA specifies that you have to be. Like Southwest Virtual, they prefer you to be there, but also they don't block you if you were not flying online. But for VAMSIS and all the VAMSIS airlines, there's no requirement to fly online.
Thank you.
I'm gonna park here next to you, Kevin. Then we'll take the train together. I see there's a nice train over there.
Yeah, good idea. I don't know because my scenery didn't load correctly, so I just plunked it in the first place I saw.
No worries.
Oh, I see I'm a South African Airways flight on your screen.
Oh yes. And Uncle John as well. Thanks, Bjorn. Ah, there we go. There we go. Sentinel says that he has 2 fire trucks and he's waiting for you here at the gate. Uncle John is going to spray you. Congratulations on good landing. Right, so let us do the right thing and log this flight for the VA.
Yeah, I've got to go now anyway. Thanks for that, Nico.
Yeah, you're welcome.
See you later, Kev.
Stay well, be good.
Catch you later, John.
And if not, get caught.
Yeah, don't get caught. Yes, Sentinel, do that, do that. Guys, the more the merrier. We've had it here where we were up to 30 guys flying together here. It's absolutely stunning. It's such great fun. You don't know what you're missing if you don't come and fly with us. And don't be scared to make a fool of yourself. Please, guys, we all make mistakes. And nobody's going to laugh at you. We might laugh with you, but not at you. So feel free, eh? I love this XP realistic. All the movements and everything you get. Just amazing.
300. 200.
Ach, nee, man. Why you do that now? Thank you, Chris.
Welcome, sir.
It's a bumpy runway, this, eh? Ups and downs. One more time.
Wow, on the touch zone. Perfect.
I love this wave effect. It's like corrugated iron in this runway. Up and down, up and excellent. Uncle John, did you like that? Was it a good flight?
I did, Nico. I was just annoyed about that auto throttle not working properly because my first landing was good.
Yeah, gotcha.
Nico, can I ask you a question? You have different threshold. You have a threshold there, and you have different markings on the runway. Which is the preferred touchdown zone, please? If you can explain.
I'll show you now. There. This is what you need to know. So, your touchdown zone is the first 1,500 feet of your runway, right? So,
and you have to be over the threshold at about 500 feet. Sorry, 50 feet.
50,
so 50, yeah.
You cross the threshold at 50 feet. At 20 feet,
the threshold. That's the zebra crossing, yeah?
Yeah, there. This is your threshold, right there. Okay. So then at 20 feet, you pull back on the power and you just ease it out and let it settle and land.
So you have to be over the threshold at 50 feet.
Yes.
And then at which point, because I had mixed reviews on my landing rate. So I fled too early or fled too late or anything like that. So what is the preferred flare rate? And which altitude? I'm thinking 20.
Yeah, I'm doing about 20. Between 20 and 30 feet, I would pull back and start lifting the nose a little bit.
And you're aiming for just after the threshold, yeah?
Well, the aiming bars I showed you just now, let me bring it back. Those big piano bars, those are the aiming points, right? That's where you aim for. But inevitably, depending on your weight and your speed, you're never going to land there unless you go below your glide slope and then, hit it. So you're probably going to land somewhere there. That's where I usually land, somewhere there. It's just, you know.
See, a lot of airports don't have that markings. Like every aerodrome is different, they have different markings.
Well, there's supposed to be a standard, you know. I mean, there's supposed to be some standard. You will always find the big bars, and then you'll find other shorter bars. Now, depending on the length of that runway, all right, you will find that they change it because sometimes the runway is just too short. So that is a very valid reason why they change it. But other than that, really, it's supposed to be standard. I mean, I've now shown you 3 different versions now already. You've got your threshold.
You look at the PAPI lights. At which point do you turn on the PAPI lights as opposed to the glides
below 200 feet. Below 200 feet.
Below 200. Oh, I see. So you disconnect all the throttle, disconnect autopilot, and then just fly the aircraft and look at the PAPI lights.
From approximately 200 feet, yeah. From minimums, your decision altitude, basically. Speaking of joystick, what is your thought about the Thrustmaster stick and rudder? Sentinel, I've got the Thrustmaster pedals. I hate them. I despise them. I cannot say it strong enough without using foul language. I absolutely despise them. Compared to my Cytec / Logitech ones that I grew up with, it's not good at all. It's okay, but you know, and I have it now, and I'm not going to get rid of it until it breaks, kind of a thing. But I will never advise anybody to buy it. It's just not in the same class. In terms of Thrustmaster joysticks and stuff, I don't know. I don't have any knowledge of them, no experience. I can't say I don't know anything about them. I'm a Logitech and now Honeycomb guy, so I don't know. So let us get to our parking bay. Thank you for flying with Uncle John, and thank you everybody on the stream who joined us. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you guys probably tomorrow. We will not have electricity again later this evening. They've started with what they call the load shedding again. Government's just not able to produce enough, so they switch it off. And tomorrow is another day. Then we'll probably go fly. If by some miracle we get our power back later this evening, I will definitely fly again. But keep an eye on the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell once you've subscribed so that you can actually get a notification. Paul, you're welcome. Regards to Howard as well, and everybody else on the stream. Have a lovely rest of your day and your weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nico. Have a good night.